Welcome to One Chapter, One Thought. I'm Pastor Chris from Lincroft Bible Church in New Jersey, and every weekday I read one chapter of the Bible and offer one brief devotional thought. Today's reading is from the book of Proverbs, chapter 22. Choose a good reputation over great riches. Being held in high esteem is better than silver or gold. The rich and poor both have this in common. The Lord made them both. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precaution. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. True humility and fear of the Lord lead to riches, honor, and long life. Corrupt people walk a thorny, treacherous road. Whoever values life will avoid it. Direct your children onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it. Just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender. Those who plant injustice will harvest disaster, and their reign of terror will come to an end. Blessed are those who are generous, because they feed the poor. Throw out the mocker, and fighting goes too. Quarrels and insults disappear. Whoever loves a pure heart and gracious speech will have the king as a friend. The Lord preserves those with knowledge, but he ruins the plans of the treacherous. The lazy person claims, "There's a lion out there. If I go outside, I might be killed." The mouth of an immoral woman is a dangerous trap. Those who make the Lord angry will fall into it. A youngster's heart is filled with foolishness, but physical discipline will drive it far away. A person who gets ahead by oppressing the poor or by showering gifts on the rich will end in poverty. Listen to the words of the wise. Apply your heart to my instruction. For it is good to keep these sayings in your heart and always ready on your lips. I am teaching you today, yes you, so you will trust in the Lord. I have written 30 sayings for you, filled with advice and knowledge. In this way you may know the truth and take an accurate report of those who sent you. Don't rob the poor just because you can, or exploit the needy in court, for the Lord is their defender. He will ruin anyone who ruins them. Don't befriend angry people or associate with hot-tempered people, or you will learn to be like them and endanger your soul. Don't agree to guarantee another person's debt or put security up for someone else. If you can't pay it, even your bed will be snatched from under you. Don't cheat your neighbor by moving the ancient boundary markers set up by previous generations. Do you see any truly competent workers? They will serve kings rather than working for ordinary people. One thought. Proverbs, we must remember, are short, pithy sayings that tell us how life generally works. But they are oftentimes not ironclad promises. For example, the book of Proverbs tells us that the righteous will prosper and the wicked will be judged. But Ecclesiastes, another book of the Bible, very close in style to Proverbs, wisdom literature as well, Ecclesiastes shows us that injustice is rampant in life, and life is also absurd, meaning that the opposite of what we think should happen is what actually happens. And so, according to Ecclesiastes, the wicked often win while the righteous come up short. So who's right? And is there a contradiction here? No, there's no contradiction because it's scripture. And furthermore, they're both right because they're looking at life from different angles. And I think a helpful way to think through how to put these books together is imagining that life as a garden. And so doing the right things in the garden, weeding, tilling the ground, fertilizing, generally yields a good harvest. And that is the message of the book of Proverbs. Living a certain way in general will produce a certain outcome, a good one. But sometimes a storm will blow through the garden and rips up all your hard work. Or there may be a famine and none of the crops come up because there's no rain. While you can work as hard as you possibly can, while you can do all the right things, there are also other things that are outside of your control which can influence and affect your life. And that's the message of Ecclesiastes. So while we want to do all the right things, live wisely, like Proverbs instructs us to. Ecclesiastes lets us know we also need to take into account there are things outside of our control that affect our lives. And so that is really meant to be the backdrop and set up the discussion for the proverb on parenting in verse 6, which says to direct your child onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it. And so oftentimes this proverb can be misunderstood, believing that it's like an ironclad promise. You do all the right things for your kid, disciple them, share the gospel with them, get them involved in church and youth group and college ministry, and then they'll always walk the path of faith, or if they walk away for a time, then they'll come back to it and everything. And unfortunately, sometimes that's not the case. They don't walk in the way of the Lord, or they never come back, and parents can be quite discouraged or depressed, thinking that they are failures. Well, I think that when we understand how Proverbs actually work, parents take heart, because what you do, it does matter. When you disciple your kids in general, they will walk with the Lord. So dedicate yourself to the task. Direct your children onto the right paths. But parents also take heart, because this is a proverb. And if your child has walked away, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have failed as a godly parent. Maybe a storm blew through your life. So regardless, live wisely, direct your kids, and then trust the Lord.